Yeah, good, thank you. It's been a sunny day, but cold day in the UK, so nothing really changes. It's all the same, always the same. Guys, congratulations on the show.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I love the UK. I love.
Oh,
Are
yeah?
you in? Well, where are you?
I'm in London.
I really did it all. I saw Dickens' house. I went to high tea. I just, I went to Harrods. I got a little Harrods bag keychain.
As you do, they'll happily take your money.
Yeah, they will. And my mom, the entire time we were there, was like, "Can you please talk to me in an English accent?" And I was like, "That is so weird." And she was like, come on, darling. She sounded like a crazy. I was like, I just want to be on a trip with my mom, not like a drunk Australian person. She's like, don't be mean. Don't you be mean. Sorry.
Hey, if ever there was an idea for a sitcom or something for you, there it is.
Yeah, I want to see that. Like, I want to see 12 episodes.
We have to. How do we make this happen? Who do we talk to?
Starr?
Yeah, there you go. LIONSGATE Plus. If they're listening in, that's the next thing for Zoe, and Tyrel can guest star. There you go. I got you your next job. Guys, I love this show. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons, and I'm so glad it's come back. And you guys have joined shall I say, welcome to the party, as it were, as a great man once said. Maybe Tyrel, starting with you. What was the lure for you when the idea was first kind of pitched to you and the characters, and then bringing the show back? And had you been a fan before you signed on?
Yeah, I'm not sure that there was a lure necessary. I mean, I was aware of the show because it was, sort of, I had been told by so many people that it was one of the greatest comedies to air on TV. I mean, when it was originally airing, I was quite young. I was a child, so I wasn't exactly in the demographic for it. But as soon as the read came up for this new season of it, I was like, oh, immediately yes. I don't care. I will audition for it as many times as I need to. This is going to be insanely amazing. I need to be a part of it. And then after I got it, the terror started to set in of oh, I actually have to act opposite all of these amazing people.
Yeah, Zoe, I mean, you've been lucky enough to be in a few things and pop up in a few things so far. So what was the lure of this? Had you been a fan of the show before? And also, I guess the lure of, or as Tyrel said, the ensemble is enough to want to get involved, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the show a couple years after it came out while I was working at a restaurant, and I felt less alone in my parallel journey. And my partner has watched both seasons 6 times. So I am very familiar with how dedicated the fan base is. And it was a big day in our household when I got the part. And then right after celebrating, I was like, oh God, what have I done? This is not, I'm gonna ruin the whole thing. And so, yeah, but I'm so glad it sounds like we didn't ruin it. Yay. And it's been a bucket list, to be on this show. I can't really believe it. And when we finally got to watch the episodes, I was like, okay, I was there. Right. Okay, it did happen. Cool.
And I mean, it's a show that has such a fan base that is so in love with the show. I mean, it's not one of these shows that has millions and millions of viewers, but over time it's kind of gained even more of an audience. Did you realize what you were stepping into? Because the fan base for this one is is massively in love with the characters in the show. Did you get a sense of that when you walked onto this one?
Yeah, I mean, I was aware of how beloved it was, before hopping on to the show, but I think it's each passing day has been like I'm getting more and more of an understanding of how deep and dedicated the fandom is, because like there people like even old friends of mine are coming out of the woodwork that are like, I adore Party. I had no idea you're in the new season. I was like, where have you been? Where have you been? you know?
Yeah, when people, cite their favorite shows, you get like Fleabag and Party Down and like The Office, and it just feels like just one of the best comedies that have aired in recent years, and so it's very exciting. We get to be a part of it.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you get to step into this show, but also you get these two wonderful characters that you get to play. And the writing on the show is so good that it mixes the comedy and also kind of the pace. It's got such a great mix of kind of humanity as well as the comedy. That must have been a very intriguing thing to step onto, given that you're there to be funny and improvise, but also that these characters, they have a bit more depth to them than people might be expecting. Zoe, maybe I'll chuck that to you first.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's so compelling about the show, right? It's laugh out loud funny, but it's right up against that is like romance and heart and like weirdness and darkness, and it has all the ingredients, and that to me is what makes the show really, really soar. And it's that everybody kind of takes turns playing the villain, but then you also are rooting for them. And then the way that you learn that they care about each other and sort of look after each other is also just so moving to me. And I find the show to be, though like there's pooping and farting and inappropriate things happening all over the place, like, and some real sadness and dreams crushed or whatever, it also seems like a very hopeful show to me. Like there's something really positive about it. I don't know how they did it, but I think all 3 seasons, that's a thread that they keep going. And so I also think comedy is like the hardest kind of acting you can do. So that was an exciting and terrifying challenge, to be with these titans of comedy. And yeah, I think you just learn so much when you work on a show like this.
Yeah. And Tyrel, yourself, how did you feel about all of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna end up echoing a lot of what Zoe said, where it's like, I mean, it really truly was an honor to be able to be a part of this ensemble, but also be able to be given the freedom to play with everyone and play in a way where it felt as though everybody was on equal standings, even though it was, you were like, even though I was working with people I've been watching for years. Oh my God. So I'm sorry that they've started landscaping outside my window, of course.
No.
The magic of Zoom.
Of course now, of course today.
Now, right now.
When you step onto this set and you have these people, Adam, Jane, Martin, Ryan, and then all the new people that you've come on board with, I can imagine that they were very welcoming. It seems like a very welcoming group, and that after a couple of days you're kind of in the rhythm with them, and it seems like you all had an absolute ball, because the first 2 seasons look like it's one of the shows that you can see just how much fun these people are having.
Yeah, no, true, totally. We were both, Tyrel and I were so nervous being the new kids on the block, and they welcomed us with open arms, and it really did feel like we were a part of the family early on. So much so that Martin had no trouble telling me how nervous I looked and seemed on my first day of work. Like, you remember how nervous you were? Yes, Martin, I do remember how nervous I was.
I spoke to him yesterday. He's a very funny man, I have to say. Him and Ryan are very, very funny. They were in the same room as well, and it was quite a vibe. Those two
Those
guys.
two are nuts.
they had their pink ties on as well, which I thought was a nice touch for the interview. As a final question, and I'll chat this to both of you before my time runs out. I spoke to the guys yesterday and said to them, if you could pick someone that you worked with to come into the show, whether as the person putting on the party or to have as a new recruit, Martin said he's just done Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, and he thought that would just be the most hilarious idea ever. I just wondered whether of all the people that you've worked with, if there's someone, if you could drag them into this group, whether as part of the group or whether as the person having the party, that would be fun for season 4.
I think it would be absolutely hilarious for Hank Azaria to do an episode.
Oh my God, brilliant.
That would, oh my goodness. Hank and everybody else on this show.
Yes, nuts.
The only thing is that I don't know if we'd be able to get through shooting it. We'd be laughing too much, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's a really good idea, Tyrel.
Yeah.
I would say maybe Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes.
Even better. So season 4, we've got Hank Azaria, Sylvester Stallone, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean,
oh my God.
That's amazing.
Let me call her right now.
Yeah, call her right now and get her on board. That's such a good idea. In fact, actually, when I spoke to him yesterday, Martin said, of course, we could do Sylvester Stallone and get Arnold and do like a Planet Hollywood kind of party going on with those two as the party hosts. And I thought that was like the best idea ever. If you're ever going to do like a Christmas special, let's get those two. Why not?
That is insanely great.
That's insane. Yeah. Martin's a real ideas man.
There we go. That's it. If it's not in season 4, if it is in season 4, I've already told them where they can send my check. I'll be waiting for that, and I can go to Harrods and spend it there.
They'll take your money.
They'll take my money. They always do. Guys, it's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope the series goes really well for you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,